customize it. All right, so having done that, I'll navigate to the home tab and pick this compass. I place the compass at this point, so this will show me the the directions which is editable. All right, if we really want, or you want to use another symbols, you can actually use it successfully, but I'm okay with this. Click on the close options to have that inserted. So the purpose of hello and welcome to this presentation. You are going to be learning how to customize templates in Autodesk Advanced Style. And so what I have here is a metric template. Protek company metric template is what is here. For example, I navigate to the start menu right there, and then I get to the new, then browse template. Here I have Protek Imperial template Advanced Style, I have Protek metric template Advanced Style. So I can use any of these for my modeling and detail drawings successfully. So I will cancel that and then get back to the drawings one right there. Okay, so the purpose of this template is to help you to have a standard drawings in Advanced Style. And so as we shall proceed subsequently to carry out modeling and drawing productions, this is the template we are going to be using. But I will show you how to set up these templates successfully, and also there will be a link in the description of this video. You can also get the Protek company Imperial and metric template for this Advanced Style successfully. So let us get started afresh. So since we have already having some default templates, I wouldn't like to select any of this country. Okay, as my code, I have to just cancel this. All right, so coming here are the job I've done so far. Okay, and then we'll get to the new right there. Select here, just as I've shown to us earlier. I see the Protek metric and then the Protek Imperial. All right, I will get to browse template again, and then you can see we have 4 templates here. This one is for inches, which is the Imperial, and this is for metric. So these ones are the default template right here. Okay, so the customized template is this one, as you can see. Okay, which you can get the link to download them in the description. I will show you in the process how you can make it work in your own Advanced Style successfully. But now, since I want to show you how to customize this, okay, you will use this ST template DWT right there. Okay, so we select this particular one. All right, so this is for this is for metric. All right, so get that selected and then click on open. So here we go. We are having the drawing one right there. Okay, so we have all of this. So I want to get rid of all of this. All right, so this is part of the template which I'm going to show you how to set it up successfully. So I'll close all of this successfully. All right, so there is nothing. Okay, let's for instance, you have nothing. All right, in the drawing environment. So you now start to set it up right away. So I'll do that. At first, you click on the Advanced Style to pilot to have it active. This one. So this is where we have a lot of Advanced Style tools that we used for modeling and drawing production successfully. All right, and then after which we will proceed to the Object tab, and then we will also look upon to see if we have any template we will be using here. Okay, so we can see connection vault. So select there to get that activated, or that, and then you just have to hold it and then move it to this provisions and place it. Okay, this is where we get the connections successfully. You can get to the output right here. So in the output provisions, you can see we have the drawing style right there. So if you click on the drawing style, you can have the drawing style template right there. Okay, and then select on the drawing process. We have this as well. So we place this here. All right, so this is how you arrange all of this successfully. So you can see this BOM, which is a bill of materials template. This one is a bill of material template. Select it, and then you also place it here. So with all of this right here, it simply means yes, we are done with this one. Okay, this is where we get tools to draw and to produce a detailed drawing successfully. Okay, so the next thing we will now look at now, we will look at setting the drawing groups and as well the query. So come to the home tab and then click in this project explorer, then select the project explorer, and then you have this icon. So that shows this icon. Now we'll be setting the queries. Okay, so for you to set the queries, you just have to click on this. I will show you how this works effectively. It is very useful as you make progress in your modeling and drawing productions. Okay, as well as the group, we set the group first. Okay, so we come to these provisions and then we choose create new group. So select there. So in the group properties provisions, you just have to key in the group name. Okay, here is going to be just numbering. Okay, just like this. Click on the OK options to have that right there. So over to query, select there. All right, so we have this search and marked object. Okay, dialog. So we have to assign a color to this query. All right, and then we will use yellow at first. Then we get to the object. So the object we need to select is the steel. All right, so you can create a query group for all of the element that consists of your model successfully, as you can see all of it here. So I select beam. All right, having selected the beam, I'll come to the number, and then in the number you can also change the mark and then the prefix and the rest of that. Okay, but that is not necessary. All right, and then you can go to the naming right there. So in the naming, the model role is very, very important. You have to get it activated. All right, so having that activated, we can now proceed to the provisions, and then maybe we will look for beam, because what we selected there is beam at this first provisions. What we selected here, these provisions, right? This is T beam. All right, we selected T beam, so you have to check for beam in the naming. All right, under model role. All right, so come here and then you look for beam. So you select beam right there. Okay, click outside there to get that activated. Okay, so I have selected this. Now you can click on the save. All right, so once you click on save right here, this will come up. So this beam is going to be a kind of a floor beam. Okay, so you can just type F beam right there, F beams for the floor beam. Okay, so we may also have a beam like let's say rafter, beam rafter. Okay, but for this is going to be a floor beams. All right, so we click on the OK. So you can set query for many elements successfully. So having created that, click on the OK options. So you can have F beam here as a query. Under queries, you have FE beam. So what to create additional query? So you click on the query provisions right here, and then over object you have to select, is it beam I want to stick rate? You want to stick rate the beam. So let's say we have another beams that is called maybe we'll call it beam stored. Okay, we call it beam stored. So if you come to these provisions, right, and then you select that, then you have to first get to the general and assign a color to it at first. Okay, so this one now is going to be taking another color entirely. All right, so you can select green color for that. Okay, so come over to here and then steel beam selected, and then you come over to the naming provisions, the model row. All right, so this may be a beam that we may create in the model that is not really here. Okay, so we have beam stored right here. Okay, so you can also assign it here as a beam stored. Maybe if you have another beam, okay, that you need to create in your model that is not here in these provisions, I will show you how to create an element in this group. Here we selected this, so let's create another beam called a beam stored. All right, get that selected. So I will selected that. You can now proceed, and then you click on the save. Okay, so in this provision you can name it as a beam rafter. Okay, so this will serve as a beam rafter, beams rafter, just like this. Okay, so having named that successfully, click on the OK option. So we have two queries here, and then I'll click on OK here. All right, so now if maybe you wouldn't have those objects, you can create a lot of it right there. I'll show you how to do that right away. Click on the management tool right there. So in this management tool, it's advanced management tool. Okay, yeah, come to object properties editor. So now you navigate to the model rows. So in the model rows right here, you can see over here, these are all the model rows we are founding in that dialog that we use to create the queries. All right, so now if you want to create an additional beam, you can just select any of these. Okay, and then click on new right here. Okay, so maybe you have another beams, you can call it maybe if beam. Okay, so if you check here, there is nothing like if beam. There may not be anything like if beam. Okay, so I can see if beam bracket. Yeah, you can see if beam bracket end plate, and then the rest of that you can see if ties right there. Okay, but you can still create a member called if beam on its own. All right, if beam. All right, so now what you need to, having selected this, okay, having selected the beams right there, you can just click on new right there. So and then give it a name, okay, as a if beams. All right, just like this. So having given that name, come to the group options. So you are going to be using all straight line and planar elements right there. So you have that to choose. After choose that, click on applied. So take note of the name is if beams. All right, so after you click on applied right here, you can come to home and as well close this dialog right away. All right, so for you to effect that change, you have to come to these provisions where you have update defaults. So click here, so this will be updated successfully. So having updated that, and then you want to create more queries in that respect, you can click on queries right here, and then come over to the general, assign a color to it. It's going to be a different color. Let's use blue color, right? And then get to the object. So it is still in a beam group right here. Okay, so we select the still beam. Okay, I've selected that. You proceed to the naming the model. So here you have to select the if beam that you created, okay, in the management to settings right there. So you will scroll down to if beam, so we can't easily try to locate that. You can see if beams, this is the one we created. Okay, so this is how you create a member that is not existing. Okay, right here you use the management tool. So this is what I want to actually let you understood. All right, so I will selected that. Click on the save options, and then you cannot give it a name as a maybe if beam as well. You can use the same if beam just like this. All right, okay, so having created that, click on the OK options, so you have it there. So here are the queries that we have created. So I want to show you now how you can use these queries to do your drawings. All right, so click on the OK options. All right, so before then we will be creating the cardinal points. Okay, before I will show you how we can use this successfully create the cardinal point. So we just have to type C on the keyboard for cycle, right, and enter. So you do 0, right, comma 0, comma 0, and enter. So this is going to pick from that origin. All right, so once you get it at that origin, you activate the auto right there, and then you will have it to be 1500 millimeters, and enter. So you see it is not visible. So what you do, type C on the keyboard, enter E, and enter, so you can now see it now visible. All right, okay, so haven't done this, what you now have to do, we need a line. Okay, so you do L on the keyboard, enter to have the line, and then you look at the origin as 0, 0, 0, enter. So you get to the X direction, so you have that to be 3000 millimeters, and enter. All right, escape that, enter again, line 0, 0, 0, enter. All right, go to the Y directions, you have it to be 3000. Okay, so this is how I normally set my UCS. All right, I normally customize my UCS just like this, and then I will do line again 0, 0, 0, enter. So I go up, and then I make it 3000 millimeters upward. Okay, I'm trying to set my UCS, customize it. All right, so having done that, I will navigate to the home tab and pick this compass. I place the compass at this point, so this will show me the the directions which is editable. All right, if we really want, or you want to use another symbols, you can't actually use it successfully, but I'm okay with this. Click on the close options to have that inserted. So the purpose of this is maybe I want to draw a line at that angle. All right, so I can easily be able to know how to direct my angle, all right, along the cardinal points successfully. All right, in the process of making drawing, which we may also observe that as we make progress. Okay, so having said this, now I want to draw a beam with respect to these queries that we have set. So for instance, I'll pick this row I sections. I pick that, and then I select this. Okay, snap that point, move my hand toward these directions, and then we are kicking 1500 to get a kind of distance from that point. I snapped successfully and enter to pick that point. I get this way. So I may have a beam of length 6000 millimeters. So just type in 6000 and enter. So that is the beam. If I enter again, I will have the dialog. Alright, so here I can select the sections, but we won't get into that because we are setting the template. Alright, so here we come to the positions, and then we want the influence line to be up right there. Okay, so after which you can set this to default. Okay, by right clicking and check all of these permissions simply means what you are set here is now at default. So if I create another beams, it's going to take what settings I have here successfully. Come to the naming. Okay, so in this naming here, what is important is the model row. Alright, so the model row is beam, okay, for this particular beam. So I'm taking this beam to be the first floor beam right there. So the model row is beam, so you just look for beam and select as the model row. So if you right click right here, also you can see an options where you can actually, you know, activate this model row, which if you draw another beam is going to take this same model row. But if you deactivate it, if you draw another beam, it's going to be blank. All right, so as you can see, it's not activated. So if I do another beam now, it's going to be blank. All right, so what I will do is we just have to click on okay. So this model row is very, very important. All right, so click on the close option. So I've assigned the model row as beam to this particular beam member successfully. I want to be drawing another beam right here. So I will snap this point up to this point, let's say 1500, and enter. Get this way, and then I'll have 6000 millimeters and enter right there. Enter again. So if I come to the naming right there, you see here is none. All right, because the model row was not actually set at default. So I will click here and key in beam again. This is going to also be beam. All right, so I will click on the close. That has been assigned successfully. All right, so click on close. It's been assigned successfully. I will create another beam again with another query, which this query is a beam rafter. Okay, the beam rafter is this query. So I will create another query with this. So I will click on the row I sections again, and then I'll pick this point. Let me just take any distance from there, enter right there. So over to the naming. All right, then here is still on. Now I want to be looking for beam stored because the beam rafter is under beam stored. All right, so I'll be looking for beam stored right away. Okay, so let me check beam right there, looking for beam stored. Go up right here. We have if beam right there. Let's go up. Okay, beam store this one. So get that selected. So I will right click and then activate model row, which means the next beam I'm going to draw is going to carry this model row right there. So I click on close right there. This has been assigned successfully. So I will click on that again, and then I'll pick this point and have another beam with the same model row. All right, I enter. If you check that back there to the naming, see it's beam stored right there. Okay, so now you have this beam. If you want to query this beam now, what you just need to do, those beams that you have drawn with respect to first floors, okay, you can just select it right here and then click on execute. So now you execute, you can see it's been selected successfully. So you see all of these beams have not been selected, but you see I've been using row I sections, but due to that separation using query, you cannot have them selected differently. Okay, so this is how you query. So for instance, if I pick this now and right click, I click execute query, you see this has changed. This beam is different from this beam, so you use it to separate the beams successfully as you carry out your modeling successfully. So I believe this is properly explained successfully. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment sections. All right, and also the main template will be in the description of this video. And don't forget to join our ongoing masterclass training in advance still. The link is in the description of this video. Let's make progress. We'll be creating some detailed cameras, okay, as you seen it in that template. Okay, so I will get rid of this, but by then let's get to the start menu, and then we need to open another drawings, okay, with Protek metric templates advanced. Click right there. Okay, so we have this drawing too. So now you can see what we have here. You see this template, everything has been set here. So if you get this, it will be fine, because this is the template we are going to be using for the subsequent modeling and detail standard drawings. So you get this template in the description of this video. What I want to show you how to set now is this camera. These are cameras. This camera, if you select this camera now, if you see over your camera details, okay, so this one is for details. If I select this one is elections. You cannot see. If I select this camera is for plan. All right, so we'll be using all of this as we make progress. That is why this is a customized template. So just get this template. All right, let's proceed to the drawing one. So this is where I want to show you how to set camera, but by then we need to get rid of this, so we delete that successfully. To set your camera, what you have to do, you come to the advanced tool palette and then expand this advanced tool palette, get to the these settings tools right there, and then you see camera here, select the camera and then pick this point to place the camera here. So you have advanced camera dialog. So in this camera dialog, the type, okay, so you have to choose the type. So it all depends on the what you want to do. So let's say the roof plan, okay, we want to view the roof plan of the subsequent model. We want to go into modeling and the standard drawing. So we want to view the roof plan. Can you type here to be the roof plan can be first floor, can just make it a first floor right there, okay, just like this, and then you can see the detail style override. So style will be looking at the plan, okay, plan full, okay, because we are taking the whole plans of that level, okay. So now the scale will be considering it's going to be 1:50. 1:50 can be big enough and visible enough, and then this scale is subject to changes. So I will show you how to do that as we proceed into the design. Okay, so now detail box. So in this detail box, you cannot choose the front and then choose the rear. So it's going to take both the front and the rear, and then at a distance of 500 millimeters right there. So that is fine. Display type, so it's going to be standard, okay, which I've told you earlier. We are setting all of this to standard successfully. So select object for camera. So you can use the provision to select any object for your camera and then be able to produce it successfully. So we have make all the necessary changes to this particular camera successfully. Click on the close option. So here is this camera right here. All right, so we are going to be copying this camera and then take this camera to this other provision, so we can move this to this other side. Okay, so let's say we move this to that side, the space of let's say 800 millimeters away. So you have that right there. Okay, so you can also copy this camera and duplicate it to detail camera, and as well for the elections camera, just as I have in the template. That is why you need to get the template, right? So this one now is for, if you select it, you can see it is for plan right there, and this one is for elections. All right, then this is for detail. All right, and then this one is called the model view. So I will show you how to create model view. We just created camera right away, so I will show you how to create a model view. So for you to create a model view, you have to come to these provisions where you have this create new model view. Click on that. So in these provisions, we will be considering one point in UCS. So pick this point and then click this point right here. Then you give the model view a name. So this model view is going to be a detail. So you select, you type in detail right here. So after which enter on the keyboard, and then you have to choose any of these arrow. Which of the directions do you want to view the object? All right. So you can click on this arrow, right click to enter to activate this model view. If you select this model view and right click, you can be able to navigate to the advanced property. In this advanced property, you can change the width of view. All right, let's change it to 500. So you can now see it's adjusting. Let's change it to the Z also 500. Okay, everything is adjusting according to the extent of view which I actually intended. All right, Well, let me take it back to the default successfully, okay, because this default is okay by me. So you can come to the clipping. You can see clip front and back. You can now see clip top. So all of the site is being clipped successfully. So the camera properties, you can just create camera. So this model view also have its own camera. So if I click in these provisions, create automatic drawings camera. So type of drawings, type of view that you want, we may use intersections right here, okay, and then the detail style override. So we may use let's say we can go through connections. I'm looking for planned connections, detail connections. Where can I see detail connections? I think detail connections is somewhere here. I have a detail connections here, all right. And then the scale, since the detail, you can make the scale 1:20 or 1:10, so that it can be bigger enough, okay. So after which you click on the OK options, all right, to have the model view created. You can see detail here being created, all right. So if you double click on this, you can now see it in that particular directions. So you can take it back and then you place your cursor on it, right click, and then you can turn it off. So if you turn it off, you have the whole view, all right, successfully. So now we have this as our template, all right. Although this is the right way, you can't be able to follow to create your template, but the one we'll be using is going to be Protek template, which is this one, okay, which is this one, which you can get it in the description of this video, because there are a lot of settings that are in this one, which if you join our training program, we will also show you how to carry out most of these settings for you to have an effective drawing, all right. But for you to follow us up effectively in this training, you have to get these templates, okay, which the link is in the description of this video. So let's get back to drawing one. So for instance, you're done with your settings and then you want it to be a template, all right, you want to make this a template. What you have to do is you will need to go back to the file menu, all right, and then be able to save it. But before you save it, I want to tell you that you can still set, which I have taught in the previous video, is project settings, okay, where you can put your project name, a project number, and the rest of that declare. So you don't forget to feed these provisions and make changes where necessary in these provisions, okay. You can see precisions. You may not necessarily like using 2 decimal places precision, so you can change it right here as you make your settings successfully. So these are the settings that you will have to do successfully before you can now be able to proceed into before you cannot be able to proceed into saving it as a template, okay. I'm just trying to show you because I've explained this in the previous video, so you can watch that video and see how I explained that. And also I've explained these other provisions where we set the elevation, or what we call the stories, okay. So in these provisions is where you can create your levels above and below, which is the stories or the elevation. I've explained that fully in the previous video, all right. So and when we get into the main model, we cannot create a level based on that model, okay. So you can create a level based on the model that you want to go into, all right. It could be a 2-story, it could be a 3-story, it could be 4 stories, all right. So it all depends, okay. So check that video, is can also be able to learn from there successfully, okay. But everything has been set in this template successfully, all right. So now, having set all of that successfully, the next thing you have to do is to save this as a template, okay. You have to save this as a template. So for you to save this as a template, you have to get to these provisions and then come to save as, and then over here you can see drawing templates, all right, drawing templates. And also some other configuration that you may need to do, like to apply some construction lines, okay. So if you check here, you will notice that you will not necessarily have any construction line, okay, but all of that has been set also in the Protek Imperials and Matrix templates advanced team, all right. So you can get that and everything is set in there successfully. So come over to these provisions, come to save as, and click on save template. So this is going to take you into these provisions. Now this provision you can get in here through through this directory. All right, so now I've got it out of there, so you can cancel that. Just cancel this and then get back to these provisions, and then you can be able to get back to that template provisions. Okay, now we can save this as a template. Let's call it training templates. All right, just like this, training template. All right, it's just like this. So you click on to save. So now you have to select, is it metric or English? All right, so this is metric. Click on the OK options. So this has been saved as a template in there. So you can now get rid of this by clicking on the close provisions. All right, so this is the template from the Protek company. All right, successfully. So how do you get back to the template you created? Get to start menu. At the start menu, what you have to do is you come to the new, then browse templates. So you see your template here. Okay, so you can use it. Okay, successfully. All right, but we are going to be using is either metric or Imperial of Protek for the subsequent design or modeling and detailed standard drawing we'll be doing in advanced steel successfully. So I want to show you how you can be able to get this template into the directory and use it effectively. Okay, if maybe you download the one in the description of this video. All right, so stay tuned as I will explain that to you successfully. What will happen, I'll have to minimize here. Okay, and then I will proceed to get back to this drawing tool. Okay, so I will be opening where you get the template after you must have downloaded it successfully. So once you download this, how you're going to see it. All right, so now select it, right click and click on extract here. So once you extract here, you have this template, Protek Imperial template advanced steel, Protek metric template advanced steel. So select these two files, right click and then copy it, and then get back to your drive C, local disk C right there, then get back to program data and then Autodesk right there, then navigate to the advanced 2022 right there, then get to int. Okay, this int, and then come to share. All right, then support. Okay, so now in this support you can now see templates here. Double click here, you see templates here. Okay, now you have a template here. What you just have to do, you have to right click and paste that template right there, so you can see replace the file in the destination. So I already have it there. So this is how you send those templates to your directory. Okay, so once you are done, I have to cancel this. So once you are done with this, get back to the advanced steel, and then you will see the template successfully. So here in advanced steel, get to the start menu right there. So in this start menu, you can click in these provisions and then come to browse template. So you will see the template which you can just select any of it. Is it metric you want to use in the US and other Asian country, you can use that. Okay, for UK, part of UK, and then the Africa country, you can use metric successfully. Okay, so the link to download this is in the description of this video. So yeah, we are going to stop, and then I will see you in the next presentation where we will be starting a new model and see how we can produce a standard drawing using this template successfully. Stay safe, stay connected, don't forget to like, do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next presentations. Thank you and God bless.